There we go. I would like to call the Lancaster Central School District Board of Education meeting to order. In the unlikely event of an emergency, if we have to evacuate the room, please note the locations of the exits. At this time, I ask you to silence your cell phones and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing for a moment of silent reflection thereafter. United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, folks, just to note, both Mr. Sage and Mr. Tallarico are excused for tonight. Item 4.0, presentations, we have none. Item 5.0, correspondence, we have none. Item 6.0, approval of minutes. 6.1, organizational meeting, July 11th. Could I get a motion to approve?
So. Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Items from staff organizations. Anyone here from Lancaster Administration? How are we doing that? We're better. That's Mr. Sage coming to us through the system there. Items from staff organizations. Anyone from Lancaster Administrative and Supervisory Association? Anyone from Lancaster Central Teacher Association? Anything to report? Thank you. Everyone enjoying the summer? Especially it's going fast. Get it in, get it in. Thank you for being here. Anyone from the Lancaster Association of Service Personnel? How about Lancaster Association of Substitute Teachers? Okay. 8.0 board reports. Anything to report? No. I'll go 9.0. Dr. Bailey, I'll put it to you for the Superintendent's Administrative Report.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Just two things. You know, some people think erroneously that the district comes to a screeching halt, you know, the day after graduation, but actually these are some of the busiest times of the year as we try to jam in $15 million worth of capital construction into 2 months as teachers and students are out of the buildings. At the last meeting, I updated the Board of Education and the community on the progress that we would do this in the capital progress, but also on what we would be doing this summer. And I'll do that again in September when that work has come to fruition. Additionally, we have, during the summer, we have curriculum committees and safety committees and data teams and so many other things going on and people working to prepare for the new school year. And of course, we have enrichment programs and summer schools occurring in many of our schools. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the administrators, the teachers, and the support staff who make up an integral part of our hiring committees and the hiring process. Many of those people volunteer their time during the summer to be a part of that. And to date, we've hired 35 new teachers and a whole new host of new support staff, and more are coming before June 6th. So thank you to everyone that's a part of those committees and that part of that process for giving their time to serve the district and the community and its students in this way. So thank you very much. And then finally, the administrative team came together last week. The purpose was to extend our knowledge and, of course, to operationalize the Board of Education's adopted CDEP goals, including the potential next steps in alignment between buildings. Additionally, we focused on building capacity around the district's culture, climate, and inclusivity initiative. And a few takeaways from the day. Number one, it was wonderful to be together again, focusing on the work of educating our students here in Lancaster. And the work is going to be challenging, but individually and collectively, we are up to the task. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Valley. All right, 10.0, old business. Anyone have any old business to discuss? 11.0, new business. 11.1, personnel items. 11.1.1, personnel changes. Can I get a motion to approve the personnel changes?
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, so moved. I do want to call out someone here that joined us today, new to the team here at the school, Mr. Matthew Hine, who's going to be joining our special education. department. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, 11.2 education items. 11.2.1 Committee on Special Education. I have a motion to approve. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So moved. 11.2.2 Committee on Preschool Special Education.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So moved. 11.2.3 for information only, textbook first reading, History Alive 1. 12.0 Business and Financial Items. 12.1 Financial Items Action Item. Motion to approve the financial items.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. The next 12.2 through 12.11 are all information only. 12.2 is policy second reading, number 3220, use of service animals. 12.3 is policy first reading, number 1530, minutes. Policy first reading, 5130, budget adoption. 12.5 is policy first reading, 5230, acceptance of gifts, grants, and bequests to the school board information. 12.6 is the policy first reading, the number 5570, financial accountability. 12.7, policy first reading, number 5683, fire and emergency drills, bomb threats, and bus emergency drills. 12.8, policy first reading, number 5740, qualifications of bus drivers. 12.9, policy first reading, number 6140, employee medical examinations. 12.10, policy first reading, 7132, non-resident students. And finally, 12.11, policy first reading, number 7554, suicide. Again, all of those are for information. We'll vote on those at another time. 12.12, policy deletion, number 5150, contingency budget. Can I get a motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 12.13, indemnification request. Motion to approve.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Food service operating reports. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 12.15, food service wage adjustment. Motion.
So moved. Second.
Any opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
That was a lot of order. So moved. Thank you. 12.16, bid award, annex vestibule. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 12.17, AI contract for Algier Construction Corporation. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 12.18, surplus equipment. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 12.19, surplus textbooks. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 12.20, construction change orders. Can I get a motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Contracts, the Summit Center. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 12.22, appoint chemical hygiene officer. Can I get a motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 12.23, tax tertiary settlements. Can I get a motion to approve? This is information only, so nothing to be approved at this time. We'll do it at a future date. 12.24, 2022-2023 tax rate. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so moved. We are here to our public hearing section. Any person who notified the district clerk per policy 1514 may speak at this time. Speakers must first be recognized by the president and then identify themselves by stating their name and address. The time limit to speak will be limited to 5 minutes per person. We have one person who signed up on Friday, and that is Miss Sherry Zuccaro. Welcome. Thank you. Yep, perfect.
Hello, my name is Sherry Zuccaro and I live at 19 Winfield Avenue. I'm here tonight to request a reconsideration of the middle school electronic device policy. Not only am I a parent of an incoming 7th grade Lancaster Middle School student, But I've also had the privilege of teaching middle school at another Western New York district for over 20 years. What I know about middle schoolers is that they're in a unique stage of development, and a policy that works for high school students might not necessarily be what is best for 7th and 8th graders. With this in mind, tonight I urge the Lancaster School Board to examine how the current electronic device policies put into practice at Lancaster Middle School, evaluate how the policy contributes to the culture within the building, and facilitate discussions in order to determine whether the policy is still best practice. LMS's current policy for cell phone use permits students to possess a cell phone during the school day. However, school use is at the discretion of teachers. At first glance, that seems appropriate, but in practice, this policy allows for students to have 40 minutes of screen time each day during lunch in the middle of their academic day, as well as during classes and study halls with teacher permission. Mrs. Lackey said that cell phones are also used to sign out of classrooms and that students might quickly check them at their lockers. To be sure, cell phones are often out and about. Mrs. Lackey assured me that cafeteria monitors check cell phone use to make sure that students are staying off inappropriate sites. But if you've spent any time with a middle school age student, you know that 4 or 5 adults in a full cafeteria cannot possibly monitor what all of these students are doing on their phones. School districts put filters in place on student-issued devices like Chromebooks because they want to protect students from accessing inappropriate content. But this type of monitoring cannot happen when students are using personal devices. Ideally, like the majority of Erie County middle schools, I believe that LMS should have a more restrictive policy. Many middle schoolers have adopted away for the day policies, which ask students to lock their cell phones in their locker for the day. Students have a greater chance of doing better academically and emotionally when they are not tempted to be on their phones. We know that the brain's control center for impulse control, the frontal lobe, is not fully developed in middle school age children. When people say kids just need to learn how to handle phone use in places like classrooms, we are really setting kids up for failure. Phones interfere with academic performance. Students who interact with their cell phones in class perform worse on tests. And shockingly, just having a phone within reach can cause academic performance to decline, whether they're used or not. In a 2017 study, participants completely turned off and silenced their phones while they performed memory tasks. Some were allowed to keep their phone, and some were told to put it in another room. Those who had the phone with them did significantly worse. The mere presence of smartphones seems to cause brain drain. Phones compromise emotional well-being. Visit any middle school where cell phones are allowed at lunch or break, and you will see heads down everywhere you look. The national average daily screen time for teens is currently 7 hours and 22 minutes, and that does not include screen time for schoolwork. More screen time results in increase in distractibility, inability to finish tasks, difficulty making friends. It also results in less curiosity, emotional stability, and self-control. Those teens who log 7 or more hours a day on any electronics are more than twice as likely to be diagnosed with either depression or anxiety. Both Mrs. Lackey and Mr. Kreisman told me the current policy was put into place around 2016. A lot has changed in education and the world since 2016. I would argue that it is a good time to revisit the current cell phone policy for Lancaster Middle School. Policy impacts the culture within a building. I would suggest that as a board member, you drop in to see what lunch looks like at Lancaster Middle School. Perhaps to reach out to other area districts to learn how and why they've developed more restrictive cell phone policies for their middle schoolers. Much of the data that I shared with you tonight comes from the research of Dr. Delaney Ruston, who produced an award-winning film called Screenagers. Other local districts have hosted screenings of her film, as well as a film called Like, which is about finding a balance in the digital world. I encourage school board and district leadership to host a screening of either of these documentaries. Maybe bring in an expert speaker. It would be a terrific way to keep students, parents, district personnel, and the community informed, and could serve as a springboard for conversations that may result in developing a better middle school digital devices policy. Thank you so much. Now my husband can stop listening to me speak about this. It's been like all month.
Oh, Ms. Legault.
Thank you so much.
First of all, thank you. And what I love about what you just did there was you also gave us ideas and thoughts. And the one thing I'll say about the district and the administrators and teachers, you speak, we listen. So let's make sure we get a copy of that as well. I've got a middle schooler as well, and welcome young man to the middle school. And devices always are at the top of the list of things that can be a huge challenge. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. Thank you. All right, that brings us to the end. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Who would oppose? All right, thanks. We're adjourned. Have a good one, everyone.